quick before we get started, check out Drew DFS. I've got my plays listed up there. My stacks. Sheets has got his sheets. It's just, again, the best tool in the industry, combining everybody's projections throughout the industry and then adding his own weight on the value part of it, which is really, really good. It's been helping me out. It's been helping a lot of the users out. So check that out. Give us the like, the thumbs up. We're just going to be doing a quick one today because we don't have sheets and I have a lot of lineups to build. Been winning lately, so trying to let it ride tonight. Trying to keep it going. It's been good though. Tonight I haven't changed a lot. If in case you watched our earlier shows, if you haven't, I'll just recap what I'm doing the most of, and I'll actually just look at my screen here and give you guys some of my ownerships because that might be more helpful. I have Alex Cobb 20%, 22%. I have Charlie Morton on DraftKings 25%, on FanDuel 50%. I understand that he's a good play, and I also understand he struggled with his team. I don't mind getting more of him on DraftKings. I'm sort of planning to, in case that we have weather concerns in that other game, because I have both Brubaker, I have 30% of, and I have a good 25% of Taiwan Walker. So I probably will be shifting that towards Morton if we do get those out there. Anyway, so the other one is Kenta Maeda, who's my most popular pitcher on DraftKings. On FanDuel, 50% Morton. On FanDuel, basically like 30% Cobb, 20% Maeda is where I'm at. The stacks I do like. The one thing I have changed is that I was questioning the Dodgers. I'm full on board with the Dodgers stack now. I do have most of the Philly as my primary stack. I have Boston a little bit, but not as much as I thought I was going to get to. More Minnesota, more White Sox, more Dodgers, and Philly. Those are my favorite four. They're pretty close, but I do think Philly has the best upside here. Unfortunately, they're going to be popular, so you can shift some of that ownership, or you can combo stack them with some less popular teams. I don't mind that at all. And a lot of ways to get different within those stacks if you want to. You've got Miller and Segura. You could play both of them together. That's one thing to do. Hoskins, I don't expect to get the same ownership as some of the other guys because there are other first basemen. He's expensive, but you can kind of afford him. He'll still get some ownership. So will Bryce Harper, but then you can get McCutchen in there. You could even play the bottom of the order in this particular game. So I really think that Philly all the way up and down is my favorite, with Minnesota, then Chicago, then the Dodgers. And they're all those ones are very, very close for me. On FanDuel, it's pretty much the same. You can afford anything, anybody, so play anybody you want. I also have 32% Alek Manoah tonight against Tampa Bay, and it's sort of a boom bust matchup, I guess you'd call it. But that's what I've got right now. What's up, K9 Bronco? Fave FanDuel stacks? Yeah, we're basically on the same page here, buddy. Sounds like we're gonna get in each other's way a little bit. There's different ways to do it, of course, but again, I usually say don't worry about ownership on these sites, and don't worry too much. But at the same time, I'm a little concerned with how much of the chalk I like on a big slate. So I'm happy to pivot that over. White Sox will be a little bit less. Let me get my updated projections on them. Yeah, I think we get the White Sox. Moncada and Goodwin may be popular. Abreu 6K, and I think people aren't going to go there quite as much. Tim Anderson, I love at short. I also love Tatis, but those are the two shortstops I'm using. Adam Engel, I love at 3K as a great value play. Sheets, you can use in there at batting eighth if you want to get a full stack in there. And you can always use the minimum cost catcher, Sevi Zavia. I think that's his name, how we pronounce it. The team I'm afraid of not having is Atlanta. I don't think that many people will, but I do think with the pitching change, definitely have some interest in them against the lousy bullpen. Bass is in the lousy bullpen. It's basically just a bullpen game for Miami. So I would like to have gotten to more Atlanta, but I want to make some choices here. The Dodgers are going to have some ownership. I think you'll see Muncy, Betts, and Bellinger with some ownership. I think Chris Taylor and Justin Turner are both at over prices on DraftKings. You can use to fill out stacks to get lower ownership. You can also play Will Smith over JT Realmuto, although I prefer Realmuto. I do have 25% Will Smith on DraftKings right now, and I don't mind playing him on FanDuel either. Let's go over to the Philly game for a minute and just tell you some different ways you could stack it, and then I'll read out my ownerships, answer some questions, and we'll get out of here. Look, Bryce Harper is going to be popular. I still think Reese is going to get probably around 10%, maybe a little bit more in the higher buy-ins. I don't think people are going to play Didi at 3,800. I like Didi. Segura and Miller, I like both of them, and you can play them both together if you want to use an outfield spot on Miller. He did hit 3 home runs last night, but you like the lefty power against Richards, who's really really struggled without the sticky stuff. Alec Baum will be the really low owned part of the stack, third base, batting eighth. Travis Jankowski will be really low owned in the outfield. I would probably go to Baum. I don't think I'm going to go to Jankowski at all. That's just the way that I'm sort of building right now. On Boston on the side of that game, actually going to get lower ownership, but I to be honest, I have one Velasquez lineup. I think that my preferred play here would be Alex Verdugo and JD Martinez, but I don't want to use the outfield spots that much, so I'm not finding myself getting to as many Boston stacks. I do have one or two. You can use Arroyo in there for value at 2,700. You can use Dahlbeck batting ninth at 2,600 in full stacks. Let's talk about my other stacks real quick and ways. I do have one full game stack of the Cincinnati-Milwaukee game. I just think no one's paying attention to this game at all, and I just sort of like I think both these pitchers are overrated and can give up some runs. I don't really love like a full I like more like 3-man stacks if you're going to make them out of that game, but that's just something I'm doing, so I thought I'd throw it out there, share it out with you guys. You do have the best, one of the maybe arguably the best pitchers umpire on the slate with Doug Eddings in there. Real quick, I'm going to go through pitcher data. I think those are my main stacks and how to do it. Oh, Minnesota's the other one I didn't go through with you guys. And I really like Minnesota, and I think that that's not going to be anything unusual. I love Larnach. I think he's not going to be crazy popular. I don't love Arias as much because he's more on big slates. I want guys with power, and he doesn't have much of it. I don't think people are playing Miguel Sano much. I don't think people are going to play Max Kepler batting seventh much. They will play Kirilloff. They will play Donaldson. They will play Cruz in double digits. But the rest of them, I think you can get at lower ownership. And I actually prefer Kirilloff, Larnach to the other ones. And you can use Rortvedt as your catcher, but that doesn't feel great. But I have a little too much of it to say it's the wrong thing to do. Pitchers umpire information. Let's talk about this real quick because I think it's because we don't love the pitching on this slate. It's sort of worth saying. So there's an extreme pitchers umpire for Tristan McKenzie in that Cleveland KC game. He's another guy I'm going to move on to if we get no Mets game for any reason. But I think I might move on to him a little bit anyway. Extreme hitters in Texas, and basically everywhere else down the line is nothing too extreme except for it's really just the KC and the Milwaukee game. So it's not going to stop me from stacking up Cleveland, mostly 4-man, 3-man stacks as combo stacks, but I don't think I think that they're very viable. And I keep coming back to this spot here with I really think I'm going to end up with a lot more of I got to get off some Rortvedt, and I've probably got to get some Tristan McKenzie in my life just because I actually think that there's upside for this kid. I don't think that we've seen a ton of it, but I do believe in this talent, and I will take shots on slates like this where you can get some high K upside. I also don't mind taking bats against him either. Either way is fine with me. Looking at it now, just trying to make sure I got this stack right. 4, 6, 8, 9. That's not the way we want that. We would like to get another guy in there, which will probably be Taylor Larnach. And I'm trying to get rid of my some of my exposure to Rortvedt. I just got too much of them. I just ended up that way and don't really have a great excuse for it. Really hard for me to get off Real Muto at catcher. I think he's by far the best option on the slate. It's Gary Sanchez, Salvador Perez, Will Smith, my favorite other options. Don't love catcher today outside. I do love that one spot, but also you have John Hicks, who hits a home run every day, so you can always play him against Cole Irvin. Sort of joking, but the guy did hit 3 home runs in the last 3 games. Actually, did in the 2 games prior to the last one. But he's been coming out swinging. He's hitting 440 with 4 home runs in like 8 games. So I don't mind if you want to go that direction as well. So I'm looking real quickly and just trying to make sure I've got my shortstops the way I want them here. Let's see if we go Didi. I really do think that Didi does end up as the lower owned of the bunch of the Phillies. So I really like that play at shortstop, actually. And you also have the minimum cost White Sox shortstop catcher you can use. Just talking as I'm building through my lineups here. Right. Oh, that's interesting. Do I want to do that with McKenzie? Yeah, I'll take one shot on McKenzie there. All right. But yeah, it's kind of a messy slate with pitching. Ramirez or Machado on DKGPP one-off. I like Ramirez better personally, but I think both of them are extremely viable. If you already have Tatis, maybe it makes more sense to go Machado. I still find with more Ramirez and less Machado personally, but I don't mind it at all. Drop in some questions, guys, because we're I'm just going to go through some ownership percentage. I've got 40% Real Muto. I've got 20% of 25% of Rortvedt. I need to get that down to 20% at least, because I don't feel like I can sleep at night with a guy on this slate with no power as my catcher. So I'm going to have to try and get a little bit less of the Rortvedt. Okay, so first base, 10% Miguel Sano, 35% Jose Abreu, 25% Rhys Hoskins, I have 25% Kirilloff, but you can use him as an outfielder as well. Second base, Brad Miller, 32%, 25% Segura, 20% Cesar Hernandez, 15% Max Muncy, mostly using him at second. A little bit at first, but mostly at second. Third base, 20% Donaldson, 15% Arraez, who I don't love as much again in the stack, but I'll probably even less than that's 10%. Dozier, you can use in the outfield also, but prefer him at third because I like the outfield 15%. Jose Ramirez, 26%. Moncada, 20%. That's mostly in stacks or mini stacks. Shortstop, I have Tim Anderson at 30%. Didi Gregorius at 22%. Fernando Tatis at 19%. Ahmed Rosario at 15%. And Gavin Lux at 10%, assuming that he makes the lineup. Outfield, Bryce Harper, 26%. Max Kepler, 20%. Larnach, 40%. Adam Engel, 30%. 22% McCutchen, 35% Cruz, 20% Bellinger, 20% Betts, 15% Benintendi, 25% Brian Goodwin, 15% Franmil Reyes, 26% I believe I said Harper already. That's pretty well rounded out at what I'm doing. I do have also 5% Jonathan India and 15% Christian Arroyo, if I didn't mention it earlier. And those are part of Boston mini stacks. So that's where I'm at, guys. Drop in. Outside of Real Muto, I just went through it, but I'll go through it again. I do like, the more I think about it, I keep poking back to this Odorizzi thing. I mean, the Yankees have just been so hit or miss that I almost want to take a shot there, but I can't quite bring myself to do it. So catchers I do have too much Rortvedt right now, but they're in Minnesota stacks, which gives you an idea of how much I'm stacking of Minnesota. Will Smith at 15%, JT Realmuto at 44%. But Will Smith, Christian Vasquez, Gary Sanchez, Tucker Barnhart, those are my next ones. And Salvador Perez. Those are my other options. I do think Will Smith is one of the preferred ones for me personally. All right. It looks like we are pretty much, that's pretty much what I'm doing on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I don't know what's happening with this. I haven't heard one person. Well, that's not true. I've heard people talk about him, but I sort of thought we'd get a little bit more talk about Alex Cobb tonight. And I feel like he sort of faded into oblivion. Am I missing something as to why? I feel like we have to take these chances against Seattle. We know Cobb, when he's right, has a ceiling. Now he can frustrate you. You can get a blister and be pulled after an inning. It's happened a million times. But I do think that on this kind of a slate, I do think I'm using him as one of my main pitchers on FanDuel, and that's something I may have to change. People are getting more onto the Manoah thing, and I think that there's even reason. I think it's justifiable. Alex Cobb, I mentioned already. Who else? Kenta Maeda, I like on FanDuel as well. I like Kenta Maeda in general. You can make him the same price as these guys. I'd still have interest in Maeda. But yeah, Maeda I would have just ahead of. I have him right with Cobb on FanDuel, to be honest with you. I just it feels wrong though. Charlie Morton is my most popular one on FanDuel, but I'm not using Walker currently on FanDuel. I'm kind of wondering to myself, why am I not using Walker on FanDuel? It seems like a better place for him. He's a ground ball pitcher who can work through innings against a team that doesn't strike out. Probably a better place for him than DraftKings. So maybe that's what I end up doing. But I'm going to finish building my lineups. Twins will disappoint you. Okay, man, I appreciate it. I totally hear you. They've disappointed me before, but we have some really good value on their spots too. I love Larnach and Kirilloff tonight, and I'm going to still play some Twins, but I totally understand your pause for concern. And I don't blame you one bit. I mean, I definitely can understand why this team has been really, really frustrating to all of us. So I do think I want to get less of the Rortvedt personally, and probably maybe I get a little more Dodgers than I have right now. Maybe that's what I can do with a little bit of my Minnesota exposure is move it over towards the Dodgers side of the thing, side of things. Sorry, excuse me, my not being able to speak English all of a sudden. Also like Severino is a reasonable enough play against Keuchel. Yeah, also in that Saint Santander at 2,300. Austin Hayes in that same game. Benintendi's another good value. Jorge Soler, the lower end of the Benintendi and Soler price range, so I would go that route too. Yeah, those are that's a lot of what I'm doing there. So do with it what you will. I am going to play an Odorizzi lineup just because I can. Don't really have I don't know. I feel a little nervous. I also feel nervous about playing Nelson Cruz, but I do feel like this matchup's a little too good for the Twins to just pass up. So I'm not going to ignore it. I do understand the concerns, but I just can't bring myself to fully fade that game that I really like. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And our pitcher will be Shane McClanahan. No, it won't be McClanahan. Manoah over here. And that gets us to Verdugo. Actually, let's do it like this. Sorry, guys, stalled out there for a little second, but Houston's probably getting overlooked a little bit today. But the Yankees bullpen, I just think there's better spots to pick on than that particular one. So that's what I'm doing there. Let's see if I play those two together. Yeah, if you play Miller and Segura together, you can already differentiate your Philly stack a little bit. You know, some people will do it, but it's in general that's a good way to go when you have the guys who play the same position like that. How's everybody doing with golf and everything? I think I got killed. I had Siwoo Kim in 52% of my lineups. Right now, I'm hanging out hope on getting Doc Redman through. He's 3 under through 13 because I've got a really nice lineup with Redman. I've got Chase Seifert at 2% ownership. I've got Patrick Rogers in that lineup, Zach Johnson, Patton Kazire. It's a pretty good lineup. That's where my golf is at. Takes are great today. Thanks for the show. Oh, no problem. Yeah, hey, man. Absolutely. Let's ship it tonight. Let's all do it. Golfers disappointing us. I mean, Siwoo Kim, look, dude, 52% of my lineups completely down the drain. If I pick to win it, he withdraws after the first hole. Nothing I can really do about that. The Discord link I will drop into chat. Big Ticket, awesome guy who's also been doing really well. Big Ticket, who are you liking tonight? Because you've been having some pretty good success, I feel like, lately. So why don't you let us know what you're doing? Let me see if you guys can see this in chat. I'm pasting in the Restream chat, and I don't know that it's going to show up. But let's see. I think it will. Yeah, it should show up on everything. So I think I did just there's the Discord link. And come join us. Yeah, we love having all these good players and good minds thinking together. If there's any other questions, let me know. I think San Diego gets overlooked a little bit too tonight. They'll have some ownership, but maybe not quite as much as people think. Those late games, especially on these big slates where there's lots of options, they tend to get more overlooked than both the Padres and Dodgers. You can have a full fun time and just hope the early games kind of dud out and play these guys. I mean, am I missing something with who's starting for San Diego tonight? Are we all on board that who is in fact starting for San Diego? It's just confusing me. I've got 4 different pitchers starting for San Diego tonight, and I want to make sure it's absolutely Snell before I do anything, because that would be the other obvious spot. He's not healthy. I don't understand who. So I gotta get my updated things right. For some reason, everything's out. Snell's on the DL. I don't even understand why it's showing up. That's really sloppy craftsmanship by certain sites out there. But for the Padres, hold on 1 second. I don't even have a pitcher. I need to get an update on what the hell's happening in that game. That's really frustrating. And sorry, guys, it's not professional on my part, but it's honestly, I see mixed answers on every site. So it's hard to figure out when that's the case. I'm going to get off and join you guys for Roth with Weather in a few minutes. So if you do have any follow-up, finding any end questions or thoughts, feel free to post them. Looking at you got Ross Kinnear, so it's going to be a bullpen game. Would have been nice to try to pick on the Rockies here. What do we know about this? I don't even know much about this Kinnear guy. I'm going to take a quick look at him while I'm waiting for you guys to catch up and maybe get some questions in there. I don't even know if we can play him. Is he even in the player pool? Weird, wild stuff. It doesn't look like he even is. I didn't even, yeah. That's what happens when you focus on other spots in the day. Stammen, oh, then you get Stammen for San Diego. It's just different. I mean, I'm looking at different places that have different things. It's weird. Dodgers on FanDuel. I'm into that big ticket. I've got the same. Lauer, Tracy, Lauer is viable because everybody's viable, but I wouldn't be playing him personally. I think that would be I'm using like 7 pitchers throughout all my lineups, maybe even, I guess you count 8 because I have one with, I'm not using Lauer. I'll just put it that way. I have him in one lineup out of like 100 and something lineups. I don't know, something like that. Better taker on a shot at a San Diego stack versus a New York stack. For me, I like the San Diego stack better, but I do think that the Yankees are going to be overlooked for whatever that means. Gary Sanchez is probably the only one who gets any ownership, maybe some Luke Voit. And San Diego, you've got Tatis who will be owned, Pham who will be owned, and I believe Machado will be owned. Now, all those would be in double figures. Now, I wouldn't worry so much about it. So personally, it'd be San Diego for me. One thing I'm doing is I'm doing what I did last night, and just play the best player, like play Tatis and then stack him with your White Sox. Although I do like Tim Anderson, and then I have a Padres stack without Tatis and with Tim Anderson to get a little different. That's one just little way you can get off of the other people with the same stacks. I also am doing some 4-3s tonight instead of some all 5 men. I do have a lot of 5 men tonight, but I mostly am doing. I think it's that split between 4-2 X's and 4-3 X's, and then 5-man stacks. So I'm about 50-50 on those types of stacks. I don't like Houston's stack personally. The Yankees, like I said, are a good bullpen game, so I'm not looking to stack Houston. But if I was, I would be looking to play Altuve, Alvarez, the usual suspects. Nobody's going to be owned in Houston anyway. Brantley is a good value play. Miles Straw, really good value play at 2.7 in a stack. I don't love him as a one-off or anything. I just think you play Larnach at 2,800. But that's who I would be stacking from Houston. And I am going to be getting out of here very soon. So I'm going to let you guys sit there while I'm drinking my Friday White Claw. Happy Friday, all. And if there's any other questions or thoughts, get it in there. It seems like me and Big Ticket are on the same page with the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers on both sides. I think the Dodgers are going to be lower owned on DraftKings by a significant amount because of the prices. And if you want to play the Dodgers, and get a little different, play a Justin Turner, play a Chris Taylor in that stack. No one's going to play those guys. So I like that. By the way, we don't know how the Dodgers line is going to shake out. And if it's not out before lock, which I don't have it as out right now, unless I missed something. If it's not out before lock, you never know where a guy like Gavin Lux might be hitting. You never know where some of these guys hit sometimes. Now with everybody healthy, it's been pretty straightforward. That little buzz, there's the Dodger lineup. Gavin Lux batting 7th, so not as bad as 8th. I give a little boost up, a little bit higher up for me. I feel a little better about using him. Taylor 6th, Smith 5th, Bellinger 4th, Betts, Muncy, Turner. Pretty much the usual lineup. Lux ahead of Pollock tonight. I don't know why projections had Pujols in tonight. I would not. He's been playing against lefties. When this team's healthy, they don't need that guy. But yeah, trying to really condense in on what I want, and I really love the. If you can get to him, I really love Abreu. So try and get to Abreu if you can, in my opinion. I just was saying that, Tracy, but mostly you're going to want to do 5-man stacks for most people. That's what they're comfortable with. I like the 4-2s and the 4-2-2s, 4-3s, some 4-4s even, a 5-3, a 5-2-1. All of those are viable to me. Let's get it, Big Ticket. Bellinger owes me too. He hasn't really quite done it for me when he's been healthy this year, and I could definitely use a boom game out of him. So, guys, we got some cool new stuff with the site. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Oh, that sounds like a fire alarm of some sort going off in my building. Don't have a fire alarm during this time. If I have to evacuate my building before lineups lock, I don't even know what to do. What do I do? Just write a message to my host at DraftKings and say, hey, cancel me out of everything? Or do I just let it go and hope that everything breaks in my favor? I don't know. Anyway, guys, really appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are checking everything out. Give us some feedback on the site. You can DM me. You can put it publicly. I'm happy. We want to make this as fun and as easy to use for you all as possible. It looks like we're not going to be charging until after the All-Star break, and it won't be. It'll be very, very affordable. Our initial thoughts is $25 to the first 25 members, $25 a month. It'll be $35 a month for the first 100 members, and $45 a month for everybody who comes after the first 100. But you guys are pretty loyal followers, so I'm pretty sure you guys will get in there early, and I will. You'll certainly be the first to know when it does happen. So let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts. We're going through some site hiccups and stuff. We're doing some development stuff, so we've had little blips on the site today. Oh, there is my fire alarm. But yeah, so that's where we're at, guys. I really appreciate everybody being in here, and I'm gonna give it one more minute because I don't have anything to do. So I'm gonna chill for the moment. But yeah, don't leave Gavin Lux out of your Dodgers decks. That's a good question, Project Mayhem. My favorite flavor is, honestly, it's weird because I don't even like them in general, but it's mango. I think that's kind of the chalk, isn't it? Is mango the chalk for the White Claw answers? I think it's the chalk. What do you think mango's the chalk? Massive fire, and Bobby is still. Look, this is what we do, man. It's true DFS. All my mind is on right now is today's baseball slate. If there's a little fire, I've got a window I can jump out onto the street. I'm only a couple stories up. I think I'll be fine. Haven't had as much leg workouts. I've been working a lot on the site stuff lately. So, hopefully my legs will hold up from the jump if I need to go there. Is black cherry the chalk? The funny part is, amongst my friends, I feel like it's mango, but I can understand why black cherry would be the chalk. But it's a different flavor that I don't really like as much. And honestly, I'm not necessarily. I'm a beer person. I'm a win in Rome person, so I like to drink when I'm in someplace. I'm going to drink a beer when I'm out in this situation that feels like you'd have a beer in that setting. It sounds stupid, but that's what I feel like in those moments. I'll have but I don't really love like drinking too many White Claws. They're too easy to drink. And I feel like next thing you know, you went through 10 of them, and all of a sudden you've got this crazy buzz, and it's too much bubbles and stuff like that for me. But I'd rather stick to like maybe whiskey or wine in general, or beer, depending on the situation. How about you guys? What are some other favorite White Claw flavors? I've got 2 more minutes. So, what White Claw flavors? You have to try Vizzies. I haven't tried a Vizzy yet. If that's what maybe that's what my friend was telling me about, but I'm not sure. I don't believe I've tried that. All right, I'm gonna sit back here. By the way, everybody jokes to me about smoking weed. I'm never smoking weed on the things. This is just a regular vape pen. Most of you guys probably know that, but I have gotten some. Hey, are you smoking weed on air? No, I'm not smoking weed on air, but I am smoking in my little vape pen, which I checked and is allowed. Water, baby. That's what you know what? I'm a water person all the time, and this is what I carry with me. I've got my Pedialyte hydration station. I tend to try to work out a lot, and sometimes I tend to drink a little too much, so they're pretty good. Hydration station's pretty lucky to have. Another thing to keep in there, so you don't smoke too much of the vape. You got the lollipop, the little lollipop, the Chupa Chups. You got to get a little bit different, something different to distract me instead of just using my vape all day. I don't know. No one cares if I smoke weed. I do smoke weed. I'm happy to. I just don't do it on air. I wait till my stuff's done for the day. Captain and Coke, that's a good one. I think I'm not a Captain person as much myself. I like a lot. I like makers, and I don't like regular Coke flavor, which is weird. I think I just burned out on it when I was young. Willet whiskey, okay. I can get behind that. If that's what I think it is. I think it's a brand that I'm familiar with. I'm not totally familiar with it. I tend to drink. I like that Japanese one. What's it called? I always forget the name of it. God, I would rather just sit here talking with you guys than either go to my fire alarm. You smoke when I'm on the air. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm happy for you guys to go do it. After rough night, straight bourbon, absolutely. Hear you there. It's a good, nothing cures a hangover like another hangover that's going to be coming the next day. Anyway, guys, really appreciate y'all. Please give us the like, the subscribe, all that stuff. And let us know. Give me feedback on the site. And we want to make this as useful to you guys as possible. I want to let you know what we're doing. And so far, we've had some great winners. We haven't had that 10K winner the last couple of days. We had a 5-day streak in a row right before that. Hopefully, we keep it going. Hopefully, everybody gets their some 6 of 6s through. And let's make some money tonight. Let's go out there and kill it. So good luck to everybody out there. Hopefully, we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards tonight. Luck, fellas and ladies.